and I am back today with another May I Scraplift You, and today I am featuring the amazing Rebecca Moore. Now, I have been binge watching her videos for the last 2 days now, and I love going all the way back and watching the very first videos and seeing where they started and how they started, and then, you know, watching them slowly get comfy with where they're at. And she is definitely a person I enjoy watching very much. I love all her layering, and I love how she shows the whole process, you know, even when she kind of like is fiddling with it a lot. I don't want to say struggling, because she doesn't look like she struggles at all. And what am I doing? I am clearly doing another dinosaur layout. I haven't done one in forever, and I'm feeling kind of like I should. So what do I have? I have some leftover leaves from a previous layout that I had done, and so I wanted more. And basically I just went to my Cricut and cut out the exact same thing. I already had the file saved. I just said I want more, and I cut out more. And then I also cut out the upper portion, but I sprinkle my my Heidi Swap Color Shine on top of all of these leaves before I take them out. Now, sometimes I remember to do this and sometimes I don't remember. It's not going to hurt your mat if you go ahead and do this at all. Like these ones here, I forgot that I was going to texture these and give them a little bit more of a color to them. And so I took them off the mat first and then splattered. But as you can tell, the splatter is okay in some places and not okay in others. But for here, I feel like it's a little bit more random because I'm splattering the whole bit. Anyways, keep going. Also, oh my god. I also pulled out another skeleton die cut that I had in a little pack. I have my last little bone sticker that is just awesome, but I found more, so I got 2 more packs, you guys, because I just love those. I know I shouldn't have. I should have just let it go and found what else was out there, but these are awesome, you guys. They're like little stones, and you don't have to keep them on the little foam that's on them, but I don't mind because then it makes it look thicker and stone-like. So anyways, I love them. I also have lots of Just Not For Boys Kit Club items. I've got some labels going on, some adorable crocheted mushrooms that I missed the first go around, and someone pointed them out to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I absolutely need those in my life. I also have part of my title here, which is this wood word that says wild, with the little dot for the eye. And I have 2 other things from, well, 3 if you count, oh my, sorry, that's not supposed to be there. I thought I got them all. I have 3 things also that I pulled out from the Not Just For Boys Kit Club. I pulled out this amazing tree ring because Rebecca uses a swirly gig in hers, and so I thought this would be perfect to represent the roundness. And then the rest of my title that says Wonderful You. So I was going to say Wild Wonderful You, which I think is pretty awesome. And then I have this leftover crepe paper piece that I thought went really well with the other papers that I picked out. So what other papers did I pick out? I picked out 2 Heidi Swap old school 6x8s that I just plan on matting my photos with. I picked out this awesome Minte paper that's from Urban Jungle, and you know I had to pick up all of these leaves, you guys. I mean, this just says dinosaur all over it. I had to have it. I don't intend on using this piece, although this reminds me of Christy a lot because she has this in on a wall in her home. But Christy over at Christy's Beautiful Life. Sorry. Guess I better say that because not everybody knows who these people are. I apologize. But this is the side that I love and adore and will be using, as well as this one from Old Manor. It's also a Minte paper. And I love this because it already has what Rebecca was trying to portray in her sketch, where she ripped her paper right here and put another piece behind it. Well, this one already did that for me. I might not leave it like this. I don't know exactly yet, but I just was like, that's awesome. And the tones are pretty cool compared to what I've already picked out. Does that make sense? Yeah, they're pretty cool. And then last but not least, I have this other Minte paper from Urban Jungle that is this really cool raffite, I don't know how to say it, you guys, circle piece. And at first I thought I was going to cut all these out and do some sort of like circular layout with them. But then I laid my photos down and I thought, oh my gosh, these would be awesome photo mats. So I'm going to start, I've got several layers for my photo mat, just like Rebecca does. But I'm not really sure. I just really like how this is, I don't know, like grassy for my layers. So I do have some random photos, and they don't look very much dinosaur-y, if you guys are curious. This is a huge scale, and I mean huge, like it's bigger than my desk, and we all stand on it to see how much we weigh. So that is what that is, and it's trying to see, you know, like which dinosaur do you weigh the closest to, is what I'm trying to say. And so they've got all the weights up on the wall of all the dinosaurs, you know, and roughly how much they weighed based on, you know, bone mass and all that other stuff. And so they assume that this dinosaur weighed this and this dinosaur weighed that. So they have this large scale to see if you could get up to at least one of the dinosaurs. And it takes our whole family just to get up to 300. So like the whole family, you guys. And then this was my daughter's last trip that she has been with us. She was about, oh, I could tell you. She was 13 when we went here, and this is the last time that she has been to the Dinosaur Museum with us. And in all honesty, it's not called the Dinosaur Museum. Just to let you guys know, it actually has a name. I swear. It is, I pulled this out too. It is the Museum of Ancient Life, but we call it the Dinosaur Museum. I mean, that's it. That's all that's in it is dinosaurs and older creatures. That's it. And so when you get to the building, on the outside of the building, there's this huge T-Rex bone like embedded in the side of the building that is as long as the building, and it's awesome, and it just points you to the way of the front door. And I don't know if I've ever taken a picture of it yet or not, but it is just phenomenal. And so, of course, you know, because there's a dinosaur on the bone, it's always been the Dinosaur Museum ever since my kids were little. But I wanted to catalog my daughter's last time that she has been with us to the Dinosaur Museum. And so, yes, she was either 13 or 14. I'll have to double check the dates. And I could tell you right now, I lied. I lied on both accounts. She's 15 in here. And yes, so I just wanted to catalog that because before she grew up, you know, we still went to the Dinosaur Museum. And then life got in her way and she just doesn't. She's a college kid with a full-time job and, yeah, doesn't have time to do any of that stuff anymore. Anyways, stop talking. Get going, and I am going to map my photo with these three pieces here, or my photos, I should say. Map my photos with these pieces here. My background is going to be using these pieces here as well as all of these goodness. I'm going to glue my leaves to their base pieces right here, so that way they look just like these ones, and you'll never know which one is which until I tell you, which I'll never know either. And I'm also going to spray this in Dylusion's Black Marble Ink Spray. And then I'm going to spray the, here she is. I'm going to spray this in Heidi Swap Tea. Heidi Swap Color Shine in the tea color, because I thought that it went really well with this tone right here. That's all the way up and all the way down over here, as well as the tone in the grass. So I thought that the tea was absolutely perfect. You know, I have to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be a little sad when these colors aren't available anymore, because these colors aren't like, I've never been able to find, you know, oh, this one looks like this one and this one looks like that one. The only one I've ever been able to find like that is the gold one. And so I am going to be slightly upset when I finally run out of these. I do have duplicates, but of course the ones that I use the most I don't have duplicates of. So such is life, right? All right, so let's go see what I can do and how well I can represent Rebecca. All right, I think the biggest decision that I had to make on here was how did I want my layers to look. So I thought I'd leave this part in to show you guys that, you know, it could be black, green, brown, or brown, black, green, you know, black, brown, green. And I finally come up with green, brown, black. And I do make them different sizes. So the green layer is really super close to my photo, and it's probably only about 1/16 of an inch larger, but I still like having that green layer right before, so it's got like this solid layer right before all that grass. And then I made the grass about 3/8 of an inch larger than the photo. And then the black piece again is only 1/16 inch larger than the grass print. So I do like having the different layers, and when it's all put together and then on the page, the simple little tiny things, you know, and the solid bits make it to where they kind of stick out. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain what that tiny little, you know, step does, but it's noticeable in a way. So when I got ready to tear this piece, I kind of sort of, you know, like held my breath and stared at it for a little bit, and then just took the plunge. At first I was like, oh my, do I really want to rip this paper? I don't know. So yeah, I did. I ripped the paper right at the edge of where the netting was, or it's like a printed netting. I know it's hard to see inside Rebecca's, and if you go and watch her her tutorial on her YouTube, you'll actually see all the different layers that she adds in. But she has a cheesecloth layer in between her ripped paper and the background, and I thought that this paper already did that for me, so I did not add that layer at all, because I'm cheating. You know, I really am. I do love a dimensional layout. I really, really do. However, I don't, if I can skip a step and make it like a faux step, then I will. Just because of the fact that, you know, I've always said it. I'm a lazy scrapbooker, you guys. I don't like to wait for things to dry, and you know, if there's something else that I can do while something else is drying, I'm okay with that. But if there's not, it's like, how can I skip that step? And the Linktr.ee paper just made it possible for me to skip that step, and I thank them for that. So off camera, I sprayed my wild word as well as my my tree ring. And I am debating about cutting my tree ring in half, because I do not like covering up a cut file. And then you know, I mean, I don't mind it sometimes. And then other times it's like, but I could use it somewhere else, especially a tree ring or something, you know, to the point where it could be tucked under. So I do debate on that quite a bit. And then I remember that Rebecca used some sort of like netting behind her photo as well. And I've asked her once what it is. I'm not exactly sure the type of burlap that she used, but hers comes really tightly wound, and then she just works at getting it unwoven, I guess is what I'm saying. And she's showed it to us before. She's, well, to me anyways, and she's explained it to me before. I've just never been able to find some really cool stuff that she has, but that's okay. That is okay. I have this 4-inch burlap, and basically what I did, and I didn't show you guys, I apologize, but I took out a whole bunch of strings, and from the top and the sides, and then that way I could make it look like the netting, but in reality, it was actually falling apart. So I had to quickly glue it to something before I didn't have anything, which it would have been okay. I could have just started all over again. But my goal was to mimic what Rebecca had and pull out a few strings, and then I would have, a really decent hole in my burlap. Now I'm debating on cutting up that tree ring, but in my brain, it was like, well, it's just going to fall apart. And I couldn't figure out how I was going to keep the tree ring together. And I was like, but I really want, to have it at the top of my photos and at the bottom of my photos. So I got tired of the shifting paper. So I really quickly am going to glue down the paper. It's like, this is where it's going to go. Why don't I just glue it down? I don't know. Sometimes, I do things the hard way before figuring out what I need to do to make it easier on myself. Yeah. And then my ATG gun ran out, so I had to pause and go and fill that back up before I forgot and tried to use an empty gun, because that has happened. And I finally finish, gluing my papers down. The problem is I build my layout and I don't cut my papers off, and I almost build the layout too big. Almost. I catch myself, but I was getting ready to make it too big. Like right now I'm working with probably a 12 by 15 inch page, and I don't even notice it. Yeah, I'm that good. So again, with the tree ring, and I'm debating, and I finally just do it, you guys. I'm going to cut it up. Of course, every little piece gets caught on those serrated edges. I don't know how you guys do it. I'm persistent though. I will figure it out because I love the grips on the scissors. They don't hurt my hands. And so it's kind of one of those things that if I can find the soft grips with a smooth edge, I'm going to take it. Because I don't like the serrated. They catch on everything. And I had a wonderful viewer actually say the same thing. She says, yeah, no, it's the scissors. It's not a learning curve. It's not anything. It's the scissors. And, they're just going to do it forever. I'm like, yay, that's excellent. So anyways, I went and I put some tear and tape behind my photos and on top of my burlap. And because it's on the burlap and I can't get it to have a good solid stick, I do use my Take Your Pick tool by Stampin' Up, and I poke a hole into the backing paper and kind of help lift it up that way. And it does help a lot, and it's not so frustrating at all. Have I told you guys how much I love these little crocheted mushrooms? Now, I'm not a mushroom fungus person. To be honest, they do nothing for me, and we don't live in a richly wet area, and so we don't have a whole lot of mushrooms. And when we do find a mushroom, it's usually really early spring, and it's kind of like one of those things that you look at it and think, what is that? And then we realize what it was. So my son discovered his first mushroom just a few years ago. And, of course we had to document it because it's like, we never see them, honestly. And so they're not a thing up here. But I do love the spottedness that they add to this layout. I think that they are very adorable. I especially love the fact that they're crocheted, and they were well put together, you guys, but I absolutely love them, and I'm glad I added them to this layout. I really am. They don't, like I said, they don't represent anything. But they are adorable. And I do kind of struggle with the tucking and the weaving and things like that. I didn't leave myself a whole lot of room for that, and so it's kind of like one of those things that I wanted the leaves to be oversized for sure because the tree ring was so big, and I debated about going and reprinting my leaves just so that way I had different sizes. And then I thought, no, because my tree ring is the same size. I don't want it to be small and big and little and all those things in between. I just, I basically wanted the leaves with my tree ring to kind of be, proportionate, if that's a thing for paper embellishments. Yes, it is. So anyways, finally decided that this is enough and this is how I want it to look. So I'm going to commit and I'm going to glue. I use pop dots I keep calling them pop dots. I apologize. I use foam wherever I think I'm lacking dimension. But there is a lot of texture on this page. And in my brain, texture adds dimension. So when I curl up an edge on my paper, it puts a ridge down there for something to rest on, which again is dimension, right? It's not a whole lot of dimension, but it is. And so I don't use a whole lot of foam dots. I didn't even use foam dots on my layout. And I'm sorry if you guys saw the mosquito. That was interesting. So I have to tell you, during the summers, and the springs, when I am filming, I leave my back door open and another window open. The window is for the bugs and the door is for the dogs. And then that way I don't have to pause to let the dogs in and out of the house. They can just go in the backyard and then come in the house as they please. And everyone is a happy camper and mom's not opening the door 15 times. So, so every now and then a bug stays in the house, but then they fly right out the window. So it doesn't bother me, but yeah, that's truth be told, that's what happens in our house. I enjoy having the house wide open and, I grew up with, just ceiling fans and windows. And so forced air or swamp coolers or anything like that are foreign to me. And so I just love having an open house. If I could open up all the windows and all the doors and have a huge roof removed, I would, because I just love the fresh air, and it's so much cooler over here. Living by the lake, it always seems to be about 5 to 6 degrees cooler than if I went over this tiny little hill. And anyways, where am I? I don't know. Let's talk about fresh air. So here's where I realize that I'm working with a paper that is larger than 12 by 12, and I may or may not have made my embellishments go off the page. So I am going to take my giant scissors, which I absolutely love, and trim off the edges. Now, when I go to do smaller pieces, I do pull out my smaller scissors. I only use my ginormous scissors for when I'm trimming off large pieces. The smaller pieces, I feel like I have more control with my smaller scissors. So anyways, cut it all off. All is well with the world. It was a little bit lower than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I didn't go off the page. That's all I can be grateful for. So such is life, because I've already glued everything down. Not like I can change it now. But yeah, it's okay. So I'm going to glue down my title. Now, I'm not going to worry about trying to pop up this itty bitty teeny tiny little title. I debated about doing that on the U part of it because I did have enough room there. And then I thought, no, it's flexible enough that if I just wrap it around, the highs and the lows of the layout, I think it'll be fine. And so that is what I'm going to do. I wanted the little loopy on the W to wrap around my skull's cheekbone, I guess. I don't know. Jawbone. Anyways, and as I was patting it down to kind of make sure that everything was stuck, you just really can't tell that leaf has dimension on it. That central leaf right there. You can't really tell that it has dimension, and the title just flows over it like it was meant to. It's really nice. I really liked that. I really loved how delicate this title was as well. I think it adds a whole lot to the layout, considering everything is big and bold and bulky, and then you've got this little delicate title going on. So just gluing down this label, at first I thought, you know what, it's kind of like the label sticks out and I don't know what to do. So I was going to put this dinosaur up at the top at first, and I thought, no, it's the way that I glued everything, I didn't like it. But then I put it down here over the label, and now the label looks like it belongs because it's tucked behind something. It's not sticking there like a sore thumb. Because at first I was like, well, what am I going to put on this label? I'm not sure. So yeah, it got a dinosaur. That's what it got. And then of course I'm opening up a new one of these packages. You guys, I love, oh my gosh, I love these, you guys. They're just the neatest things. And I thought that I needed one more because I have a dinosaur at the bottom, a skull on the left. I needed something up at the top. And I just couldn't figure out what it was that I wanted. Did I want the little, dinosaur egg? Did I want the paw print? I didn't want another dinosaur because they were all too big. The flying guy looked kind of cool. And then I found this one. It's just a little like foot. Yeah, it's a foot. And so I'm just trying to think, okay, it's tiny enough. It works, but it doesn't work because I didn't want it to just be put on top. I didn't want it to just stick out like a sore thumb. I wanted it to be tucked in the cluster and be a part of the cluster, and I couldn't get it to work. So I thought, you know what? I'm okay. Two skeleton-ish thingies are okay. That's fine. So I added 2 more mushrooms instead. I really like this now. I'm like, oh my gosh, these mushrooms make it like perfect. So I tucked one up at the top, and then I tucked one off to the side, which is where I originally thought I was going to tuck one, but I couldn't get it to work. And so when I started using my scissors to help me tuck it, I was able to get it at the angle that I wanted it, and it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So now I'm trying to figure out if I need splatters because, the page was pretty busy. And then I thought, no, I do want the splatters because I like this tea color. I really like this. It's like a yellowy brown. And so I just decided that I was going to add some splatters. So I start off with the small ones, and then I start off with a little bit bigger ones. Now, up at the top, you won't be able to really see the splatters except for the additional splatters that added to the tree ring, and then some that got on the leaves. But other than that, I am very, very happy with how this layout came together. I'm glad I got to do another dino layout. Yay! And kind of sort of document my daughter's last trip. It's not like going to be her last trip ever, but it was her last trip with the family. And so that was kind of special to us. Anyways, be sure to check out everyone else down below who is also playing along with Crystal or Pineapple Papers for the May I Scraplift You. And also check out Rebecca. Oh my gosh, you guys, go check out her YouTube channel. She is amazing. She is awesome. And yeah, I'll check y'all tomorrow. Bye.